It's time for an enemy purge. Hit the intro. Okay, so if you're new around these parts, you might have seen me say a couple things that might not make total sense to you. You might have heard me say things like enemy list or the rogues gallery or something like that. And that basically means I have a whole series of individuals that I disagree with on such a drastic level that I consider them personal enemies. And that means I made an entire wall out of them over here, okay? These are all the people who I made videos about that I do not like, that I've criticized, that I have some really strong things to say against them. And my whole goal is to come up with the most robust list of enemies on the entire internet. But it needs to be a genuine list. It needs to be from the heart, and I need to feel the vitriol every time that I look at this individual's face, right? So today, I gotta actually purge some of these people out of here, and in order to do that, I made a couple different columns. As you may know, we have a redeemed column. That means the enemy has done something that makes me like them now. There's the watch list. That's a whole list of people that I'm, keeping my eye on. I don't really like you. You're not really redeemed yet. And then we have the friends of the channel. These are all different categories for potential enemies. But today I'm introducing a whole new category called the Shadow Realm. Now basically, if you don't belong in any of these categories anymore, I'm sending you off to the Shadow Realm. And there's a few redundancies over here in the enemy list and a couple different things that need to go out. So first, let me just break down my thinking here. If an enemy is represented 2 or 3 different times in here, I'm gonna consolidate it into one representative figure of that thing. 2, if I don't remember your name or your controversy, I'm gonna have to send you to the Shadow Realm. Even if you've done something really bad, but I don't really remember you, well then I'm not gonna consider you my enemy anymore. That means you're even below enemy. You're even worse than enemy, okay? So if I don't know who you are, if I don't remember your name, if I don't remember the controversy, if you're there more than once, I gotta get rid of you. I gotta consolidate this. This does need to be the most robust list of enemies on the internet, but it also needs to be a graphic representation of what's truly in my soul, okay? And I have the soul of the internet's most ruthless gatekeeper, and I need to go about this with a little bit of analytical thinking. So we're just gonna start at the very top, and we're just gonna go from there. Now you might see this banana incident over here, and it's actually represented 3 times within this enemy list. We got it right here, we got it right here, and we got it also right here with the singer of the Banana Gate band. I'm not even gonna name them, fuck them, they suck, but they don't need to be here 3 times. So these stories are being sent to the Shadow Realm, and this one fella is gonna be left here to represent the entire Banana Gate situation. Now, we're just gonna look right next to him right now, and we see this white man with the bleach blonde hair and the red hat. No, this is not Fred Durst circa 1999. This is some guy who did something gross. I forget his name, I forget his band, I forget what happened. Is this the band that was really hyped for a bit, then put out their LP, and then a couple minutes after that they got canceled or whatever? I think that's all I remember about the situation, but nothing any more than that. It's so vague. This guy is less than dirt. This guy, I don't even know who you are, buddy, but you're going to the Shadow Realm. Whatever you did, and whoever you did it to, of course, I feel really bad about all that sort of stuff, but I don't remember who you are. You're insignificant in my life. You're less than nothing. You're gonna be forgotten to time. Goodbye, see you later, and have a good one. Next up, Joe Rogan. You're staying on the list. You're going nowhere. You will always be an enemy no matter what. Below that, we got Ammon McNeff, the twirly mustache man from the bricks and minifigs situation going down on the internet regarding Reckless Ben. This situation is one of the craziest situations on all of YouTube of all time, and this evil gentleman is at the very heart of it. I will never forget Ammon McNeff. I will never forget how much I hate his company, Bricks and Minifigs, okay? That means this guy remains an enemy, and he's going right there below the Banana Gate man and beside Joe Rogan. Beautiful. Clavicular? Yeah, enemy. Enemy for sure. Don't even need to explain that. You're staying on the list. Don't like clavicular. Okay, this one is gonna be tough. This one's tough. Hasan Piker, okay? Hasan Piker. Now, there was that whole thing regarding his dog, Kaya Gate, about the shock collar and all that sort of stuff, and all the controversial things that he says. You know what? I don't have it in my heart to keep hating Hasan, but he's definitely not going to be redeemed. He's definitely not even on the watch list. I don't even care about Hasan Piker, and for sure, definitely not in the friends of the channel. And I think that he's really just taking up space here in the enemies list. You know, I don't think that he really belongs with the likes of Jake Monroe, the Chud Gothman, who says racist, misogynist, evil things. Hasan Piker, I just don't like how he goes about his business, okay? And that's just a personal thing. That's not really enemy worthy. You know, there's lots of people that I disagree with how they go about their business. That's not really a reason to make somebody an enemy, is it? Nah. Shadow Realm, casting Hasan Piker to the Shadow Realm, unless, of course, something crazy happens. But for now, that's that. Now, here's another redundancy. I don't know if this one belongs here because Joe Rogan is also in it. But this is the evening that the UFC did the whole fight on the White House lawn, and this racist man said a really racist thing regarding Michelle Obama. So for that, you know what? I'll keep this image, which will represent Joe Rogan and this guy and the UFC, and I'll get rid of this one of Joe Rogan looking pathetic in the Oval Office. So we're whittling it down a little bit. It's a little bit less redundant. I don't need multiple Joe Rogans on here. God help me. Nobody needs multiple Joe Rogans. I wouldn't wish that upon my worst enemy. Speaking of my worst enemy, we got Finn McKenty down here. There he is, enemy number one. And you know that I'm not weeding him out. He's staying there. We just gotta make that official. Put him right here on the top. Yeah, right there beside Banana Gate Man. Ethan Klein. 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 All right, Ethan Klein, you're staying. You're staying. After all that deliberation, all those genius sentences I just said, you all know what I mean just by the intonation. Ethan Klein. All right, you're an enemy. We'll keep you as an enemy. For sure, for sure, for sure, for sure. All right, we haven't really spoken about too many bands yet. Casualties, you're gonna stay an enemy. Of course, you haven't redeemed yourself. Why did I put Rolling Stone here again? Well, probably for a million reasons, but I think the reason why Rolling Stone is on my enemy list is because of their really funny top 100 punk records of all time that was like universally panned by the entire world. You know what? As bad as that article was, I hate how the Rolling Stone logo just takes up so much space in my enemies list. They're not really worth it. They're not really worth it unless they go ahead and do something really offensive. Rolling Stone, I'm sorry. Off to the Shadow Realm, you're not even worth my time. I never even read Rolling Stone. Who reads Rolling Stone these days anyway? There's no reason to have you there. The only reason to have people on my enemies list is to be able to pulse in, to be able to check in on the enemies, and to have like relentless targets for the ruthless gatekeeper, right? And if you're not somebody that I can do that with, you're not worth my time. You can't be here. But Jake Monroe, you're staying, bud. You're staying. You're an awful dude. You're not a good person, my friend. Not a good person, not by a long shot. That brings me to these next two YouTubers, all right? You got, I don't even really remember their names, dude. Zivvy, Ice, Ziv. Dude, I'm sorry, man. I forget your name. Zippy? Zippy. Anyway, I don't know, dude. I don't even remember ya. But I do remember John from ARTV, but how can you stay mad at John from ARTV? I'm not mad at John, but both of these guys, Shadow Realm, Zippy, Zippy the long-haired homunculus. I gotta move on from Zippy. Is it Zippy? Dude, comment down below. What's that guy's name? Zippy the kangaroo? But you know who is staying on the enemy list? James Charles. Frig you, buddy. And to put him right up here by Ethan Klein, that is poetic justice. All right, because these two guys are also enemies, but it doesn't mean an enemy of my enemy is my friend. Nuh-uh, I don't play it safe that way. If you're my enemy, you're my enemy. It's just the way it goes. Conor McGregor, enemy. Disgusting human being, hate you, you suck. AI, huh? AI is gonna stay an enemy. I can't imagine AI being redeemed, ever. If you have any redeeming qualities of AI, comment down below. I'd really love to know. Ronnie Radke, he's a forever enemy. definitely a forever enemy. Drain, it's another band. I'm a music channel, and these guys are now officially a Rowboat Warped Tour band. See my latest reel on Instagram that goes into that. Unfortunately, that's the opposite of Redeemed. Drain are bigger enemies now than they ever have been in the history of this channel. I'm not a big fan of Warped Tour Rowboat bands. I'm also not a big fan of Dave Grohl. But why is Dave Grohl on the enemy list? I don't like him personally. I think he's everywhere and really annoying. He cheated on his wife. He hasn't made a good record in a fucking very long time. Every single documentary that, yeah, I'm keeping him here. I got annoyed just talking about him. I'm sorry, Dave Grohl. I'm sure you have some good songs out there. I just haven't heard them, not in a long time anyway. Ozzy Osbourne's family. Oh God, dude. Enemies, for sure. Okay, all right. I gotta talk about something here. I gotta bring something up. Red Bar Media. I think that's his name. Red Letter Media? No, Red Letter Media is the respectable one, right? Red Bar Media. I don't know what to do with you. I'm at a loss for words. I'm stuttering. I'm falling. I'm tripping. Literally, dude. This guy and his audience, they were relentless, telling me that they were watching, telling me that they're gonna make a documentary, and they were very annoying, right? But they've really fallen off my radar. I have no reason to make them redeemed, put them on the watch list. Definitely not a friend of the channel. You know what I'm saying? I thought I was gonna put them somewhere else other than the Shadow Realm, but unfortunately, Red Bar Media, I gotta cast you to the Shadow Realm. And this Shadow Realm column is not gonna exist by the end of this video. We're deleting them from this timeline. We're deleting them from this storyboard. But the story that I talked about earlier on involved the guitar player from Modest Mouse sending some very peculiar messages to some very young individuals. That's some enemy behavior if I've ever heard it. You're staying on the list, buddy. You're staying for sure. All right, now here's another redundancy that I might need to delete. I might need to send off to the Shadow Realm. This is a police officer that was involved in the Bricks and Minifig situation that was being really unfair to Reckless Ben. Now, I don't think I need any more enemies other than Ammon McNeff to represent that entire situation, right? So these guys over here, this whole police station, this soft-spoken policeman, unfortunately, you are being sent to the Shadow Realm to be forgotten about forever. No longer will anybody ever see this face when they watch one of my enemies' videos. Shadow Realm for sure. Triple H and Roman Reigns, yeah, definitely. But that leads me to a redundancy. You'll see the WWE logo over here. I think Triple H and Roman Reigns represent the WWE enough. I don't think we need that much fucking representation of this forgotten product that sucks ass now. I really wish the WWE was good, but it isn't. It's really bad. It's putrid, just like Russell Brand. He is a putrid human being. That is a great word for Russell Brand. So I'm gonna put him right there beside Triple H and Roman Reigns. Disgusting human beings. Not a fan of them. Not by a long shot. And you shouldn't be either. All right, this is starting to get a little bit more condensed. I'm starting to like this a little bit more. It's starting to make my brain feel a little bit less chaotic. This is all good. This is very good. All right, we gotta send someone off. And this time, he's going to the watch list. Mutahar. Now, I kind of like Muta, not gonna lie. I watched Muta's videos for a very, very long time. I haven't watched them in like a year, maybe a year and a half now, when it came out that he wasn't really an engineer. You see, he told everybody for years he was an engineer, but it turned out he was just like a guy that like read a lot of things on the internet, and he wasn't actually an engineer, but he liked to like build PCs and stuff. So he called himself an engineer, and I thought that was kind of cringe. But he didn't do anything to redeem himself, so I'll put him over here in the watch list with Daniel Keem, aka Keemstar. Not bad at all. Now we're just gonna do a speed run here for a little bit. Donald Trump, where's he gonna fall? Enemy, obviously. Asmongold, enemy, obviously. Sublime. What do all these people have in common? They're all cultists. Enemy. I can't endorse any cultists, not here on the channel anyway. I don't know where else I would endorse a cultist, but no cultists allowed here. Johnny Somali, enjoy Korean jail, my friend. You're gonna be an enemy forever and ever. Nicholas Diorio, obviously an enemy. I'll put you right up here beside Asmongold or whatever. Jake Paul, who cares? Who absolutely cares? Shadow Realm, Vans and Clothing Company Fugazi, enemy. Enemy, enemy, enemy. I can't believe what you done. Actually, now that I think about it, I can't remember what you did. Oh yeah, you confused everybody by working together. I don't know. That's not really enemy worthy. I was gonna keep, Shadow Realm. Shadow Realm. XQC, enemy. Aiden Ross, enemy. Mr. Beast, enemy. Pretty sweet. Clown from Slipknot and this weird kid that I forget the name of. What was his name? Kim Dracula? What are we gonna do with Kim Dracula? Well, I couldn't really remember his name, and I don't really remember the controversy other than all the stealing. Was it the riff? I don't even really remember, and the story was like last week. So that just means I'm gonna forget you even quicker as the time goes on. Sorry, Kid Dracula, whatever the hell your name is. But how can I forget Clown from Slipknot? Dude, all that AI, all that cringe, so pathetic, so sad. Definitely gonna remain an enemy. An enemy for sure. These two peanut streamers. I don't remember, dude. I don't know which one's which. I don't remember the thing about them. One of them's Christian, I think, and then the other one's... I don't remember, dude. I don't remember at all. Peanut streamers? Shadow Realm. Brady Ebert of the band Turnstile for almost killing Brendan Yates' dad. Enemy. Are you friggin' kidding me? There's no redemption for a guy like this. Now, this one's gonna be hard to talk about because this guy here, don't remember his name, and that's a problem. But he murdered somebody. So it's like, that's pretty bad. It looks pretty bad on me to take a murderer out of my enemies list. But I don't remember his name. So I was like, how can I have personal animus towards somebody that I don't remember their name? But, you know, you did something really bad. Something really terrible, I'd say, actually. So I'll keep you here. You are among the worst that society has to offer, so. Same with Alex Jones. Alex Jones is not a chill individual. So Alex Jones, enemy, obviously. Super enemy, clearly. John Joseph Jingleheimer Schmidt, formerly of the band The Cro-Mags. The reason why he's on my enemy list is because he stole a video from me, okay? He just yoinked one of my reels and posted it to his timeline as if he made the reel. It was crazy. Nary a tag, nary a mention, absolute stealing, okay? And for that, I'm never gonna forgive you. I am gonna be so petty about this stolen content. Now, you might not have known what you did, John Joseph Jingleheimer Schmidt, but you slighted me. You stole from me, and for that I will never forgive you until you apologize. But it didn't seem like you were going to apologize. You got really defensive in your own comment section. So I don't know, dude. It's pretty bad. Australian poop from the story from a couple days ago. Shadow Realm. I don't want to be reminded of New Zealand poop. And then everybody else that remains here is remaining an enemy. If you want me to just list them really quick, I will. Mike Dirt of the band Tsunami. Enemy. The singer from Disturbed. Enemy. The former singer of the Misfits, not Glenn Danzig. Enemy. Kubla Khan, Texas. Enemies, dude. Are you even kidding me? Those dudes suck, dude. Mario Judah. The story from a couple days ago. Enemy. Stealing from the scene. Brutal, dude. Brutal, brutal, brutal. Dana White. Piece of crap. Gwen Stefani. Traitor to the ska movement. All those rude boys better be mad at Gwen Stefani. And I consider myself a rude boy, especially for the purposes of this video. Logan Paul, frig you, buddy. You scammed so many people, you will never be redeemed. I can't imagine a day that I redeem you. iDubbbz, I don't care about iDubbbz anymore. At all. Totally Shadow Realmed. Not an enemy anymore. Don't even care about iDubbbz. But these two dudes over here, Destiny and TX2, yeah, they suck. They are forever suckers. Forever suckers. Well, that they are. Well, there we go. We got the updated enemies list right here. Not looking too bad. Not looking too shabby. Looking pretty robust still, not gonna lie. We've trimmed the fat a little bit, which is exactly what I wanted to do. But I won't be happy until it's a perfect rectangle. You know, it needs to be a wall of enemies. There it is, and it's still a robust wall of enemies. I just trimmed the fat. So there it is. That's the new Rogues Gallery. We're still going to be adding to it. We're still going to be building this thing brick by brick. You know how it goes. But the Shadow Realm, I promised at a deletion, this is your last chance to get a big eye full of these enemies because I no longer care about them. 1, 2, 3, buckle my shoe. They're gone forever. Off to the Shadow Realm. Amazing. And ladies and gentlemen, like that, we've updated the enemies list. Thank you so much for helping me build this thing video by video every single day. We got all these uploads. Thank you so much for rocking with them. Please remember to hit like on your way out, press subscribe, ring the bell, go to moshman.bigcartel.com if you want to purchase some comic books that I wrote and drew and printed. I don't normally do merch, but that's one way that you can support the channel. All right, thank you so much. Goodbye, see you later, and have a good one.